I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this, but school made you soft, sick, and slow, and you'll pay for it for the rest of your life.
A lot of people miss this. A lot of crazy people, they're working in school too. Very dangerous things.
Yeah.
You have to control this.
What we need to do in education is go to the full voucher system.
The longer people stay in school, it seems the dumber they become.
The biggest mistake I ever made as a parent, in my opinion, was letting my children go to public school. The second biggest mistake was letting them go to a school at all.
Same is true for all similar institutions. Maybe it was public school, maybe college, maybe your career. Today I'll show you the truth about why this is the case, plus how to fix it and build the superhero strength, skill, and sustainability we were designed to possess. Like handstands, human flags, handsprings, and even higher intelligence. Just like all our strength ninjas in the Pacific Rim Athletics universe, from 8 years old to 18 years old and even to 80 years old, beginner to advanced. We Weiland Pacific Rim Athletics, creator of Powerbatics, and welcome to training. Let's be honest, if school, which includes PE, health class, sports, and even kinesiology at upper levels, worked, everyone would be a genius walking around with six-pack abs, handstands, and higher intelligence. But you and I both know that isn't the case.
If you not agree with on your life position, but you let them teach your kids, and when they become 16, you want they become like you. This is don't work.
To be clear, this is a hard topic and it will require two things, a master mindset and a master method, both of which I'll share with you today. It starts with a mindset to watch to the end, even though we'll be graffitiing all over these sacred cows. But if you do, you'll gain a method for training that'll take you to a whole new level. And even though I'm going to show you a master method today, promise me no falls, flops, or face plants, okay? And also that you'll commit 100% when the light bulb goes on for you. Now you may not know me from Adam, but let's exercise Proverbs 18:13 together. He that answers a matter before he hears it, it is a folly and shame unto him. Listen, I'm just like you. School, college, then a solid career. For 12 years, I watched the second hand slowly make its way around the standard issue government clock, counting down the seconds until freedom.
And then the people in the machines created machines to manufacture people to work on the machines called schools.
Then 4 college degrees.
There's no need even to have a college degree.
Then 7 years of a sedentary career as a teacher for public school and university.
It is not because we care about children, and it is not because we have a vision of a great public school for every child, because we have power.
Do you realize how much time school stole from you? Not to mention college and your career. 17,280 hours, 1,036,800 minutes, over 60 million seconds.
Why are we all put into public school? And the answer is obvious: to be programmed, to be indoctrinated, to be baptized into this pagan faith. This is why the longer people stay in school, it seems the dumber they become.
Back pain from sitting in those awful chairs, stress, exams, violence, worry, guns, promiscuity, apathy, seen it all. When I realized what I'm going to share with you, I not only quit, but it changed my entire life forever, and for the better. Here's the deal. School made you soft, sick, and slow. You may not like it or even know it, but it did, and you'll pay for it for decades to come. To understand what I'm saying, we need to look at a couple boring things from history, okay? And then we'll realize how it robs us of strength, skill, smarts, and sustainability. In the 1800s, this guy named Horace Mann, with a Unitarian philosophy, invented the prison, the poorhouse, the insane asylum, and using the same model, the public school. It's the same as a prison, but just like a frog boiling in water, you don't even realize it. We can't even fathom how much stronger, smarter, more skilled, and more sustainable we could be if we weren't in the fishbowl. But we were fashioned in this factory, a factory designed to crank out soft, sick, and slow slaves.
The purpose of school is to manufacture employees for businesses. It's not to teach your children to be smart.
And don't take my word for it. Listen to some of these quotes. John Rockefeller himself said, "I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers." Hitler said, "Let me control the textbooks and I will control the state." And Stalin said, "Education is a weapon whose effects depend on who holds it in his hands and at whom it is aimed." People like this invented these institutions. Do you really think they want you to be strong, skilled, and sustainable? Here's the opposite. The truth shall set you free. So says the great teacher. Even if a person denies God, I think everyone agrees with the commandment to not steal. But these institutions are stealing from you not only your strength, but also your finances. Think about it logically. You have no choice but to pay, else put your life in jeopardy. It's no different than a carjacking. Even Jesus, when asked about this topic, said, yeah, give the government what's theirs, but give God what's God's. And what is God's? Why, everything, of course. But instead of giving everything to God and building strength, skill, and sustainability as a result, we give our resources and even our children to the government where they're made into slaves, just like Moses' people were in Egypt.
If we continue to send our children to Caesar for their education, we need to stop being surprised when they come home as Romans.
And what are the best kinds of slaves? Are they strong, skilled, smart, and sustainable like we train people to be at Pacific Rim Athletics? Or soft, sick, and slow? Are you starting to get it now? Here's the linchpin that did it in for me. The combination of Proverbs 13:20 and Proverbs 22:15. Proverbs 13:20 says that the companion of fools suffers much harm. Again, even if a person rejects God, they could still agree with this. It's not rocket science. And Proverbs 22:15 says that foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. Also, not rocket science. So you take a bunch of kids that are by nature foolish to be companions to suffer as much harm all day, sitting them in a bunch of desk chairs, bound up indoors, run by teachers who really are nothing more than a regurgitator of state curriculum for 12 years so they can be socialized and indoctrinated. That's the plan.
You think it's normal to sit in a chair for 8 hours a day with concrete walls around you where you have to raise a hand in order to speak,
to the flag of the United
where you have
States
to ask for permission to take a piss? You're requested to have what? A hall pass.
to walk.
To walk because you are not free.
And then if you can't do it, then you're mentally disabled. You
And
have mental disability.
or they
and
call your
you're-
parents, why is your son rebellious? Why is your son against the system?
And they manipulate your parents with fear. Why, what's wrong with my son? Pills, pills, pills. My heart's beating, I'm sitting still, I don't know what's going on, and I'm 10.
So the moment you're born, they tell you, what is the life you want to live, the job that you want to have, sit down and raise your hand, shut the f*** up, read this book. If you don't read it and memorize it and write down exactly what you memorize, you fail. Imagine telling a 6-year-old you are a failure.
I've been a very strong believer that what we need to do in education is go to the full voucher system. I know this isn't what you care about, but this is what I care about a great deal. Schools became a monopoly. What does the state of California spend per pupil per year in a public school? What they spend per year per pupil is about $4,400.
It's now $16,000 per year.
People don't feel like they're spending their own money. They feel like it's free. Matter of fact, if you want to put your kid in a private school, you can't take the $4,400 a year out of the public school and use it. You have to come up with, $5,000 or $6,000 of your own, or even $4,400 of your own money.
And no abs, no handstands, human flags, handsprings, flares, or flips. 80% of people are in pain. 80% of people are overweight. 75% of people are not even in the career related to their degree. 99% of people are not achieving even a fraction of their potential, including the strength, skill, and sustainability. Imagine that you had somebody that was training you. Let's say that you spent $50,000 a year on a trainer that came and they invested an hour a day in you over a year, 2 years, 3 years time. Okay, let's just say 1 year. How much progress would you have within 1 year of investing $50,000 for someone to come and train you every day for an hour a day? Well, I'm going to tell you something crazy, but it's not that crazy. You've actually done this, and you've done it for at least 12 years of your life. Whether you wanted to or not, tax money was taken out of your wallet, out of your bank account, and the government institution of public school selected someone and placed that person with you to train you for an hour a day, every day, for every year that you were at school, 12 years in most people's cases. And so here's the crazy thought. Of all of that time, why don't we have everybody? It should be the opposite. Instead of 80% of people having back pain and being overweight, why aren't 80% of people elite level athletes, And you don't have to be competitive or anything, but why isn't everybody walking around able to move like a ninja?
There's no need even to have a college degree. I mean, If somebody graduated from a great university, that may be an indication that they will be capable of great things, but it's not necessarily the case.
I remember this girl in high school who developed scoliosis from sitting all day. A valedictorian candidate who had to get treatment when she had a nervous breakdown. Boys labeled with all sorts of false mental diagnoses and put on drugs from criminal pharmaceutical companies so they can sit still.
The schools are not well adapted to boys. Boys aren't designed to sit still and be bored out of their skulls for 7 hours a day. For example, if you're extroverted, highly social, possessed by a fair bit of enthusiasm and positive emotion, then you're going to appear more hyperactive. If you're creative, then your attention is going to be fragmented in some sense by the multiplicity of your interests. So if you're creative and extroverted, then you have both of those working against you in terms of your quiescent adaptation to the school environment. If you're disagreeable, which is also more likely if you're male, then you're quite likely to push back against what you see as stupid, arbitrary rules.
Then there's the rote learning, the memorization, like I said, the violence, the promiscuity, the joke called PE, the regurgitation of state-mandated curriculum.
According to a recent study, mandatory gym class doesn't reduce obesity or add value to middle school curriculums.
Everyone brainwashed into an entitled mindset, thinking they should have everything handed to them, yet who are attaining nothing. And off into a career maybe giving you 6 figures a year, but no six-pack, no strength, skill, or sustainability. The more I talk about this, the more it sounds like Orwell's 1984 or Brave New World. In contrast, my son was 6 years old, reading at a 6th grade level with the whole Wings of Fire series finished, plus a handstand to boot. And about half our athletes at Pacific Rim Athletics are homeschooled. Bethany Hamilton, the professional surfer known for surviving a shark attack, was homeschooled, which gave her more time to train in surfing. Tim Tebow, the former NFL quarterback and professional baseball player, was homeschooled by his mother and has spoken positively about the experience. Serena Williams, the tennis champions, were homeschooled by their father, which allowed them to focus intensively on their tennis training. Bode Miller, the Olympic alpine ski racer, was homeschooled to accommodate his rigorous training and travel schedule. Listen, I paid the price so my kids don't have to, and so you don't have to. Please, don't mistake school for education. School is an institution that prepares us for institutional careers, but education is training, like at our facility and online. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And it's not too late for adults. Real training, assignments, projects, real life, plus the fact that body weight strength and skill makes you smarter. I made a whole video on that topic. Now, maybe you're sitting there thinking, man, Lee, I get it, but how in the world do I do this? How do we train and educate ourselves for strength, skill, and sustainability? It's simple, but it can be brutal because it goes against all the brainwashing. And it doesn't need to be immediate, just a change of course, which over time will change your life. My wife and I took a whole year to make the change. We built an exit strategy, created Powerbatics, built Pacific Rim Athletics, and we never looked back. It's just like bodyweight strength and skills training, as a matter of fact. You first identify the problem, weak links, sedentary lifestyle, sitting in chairs all day, sitting in an office all day, brainwashed into mainstream methods, feeling old, worn out, soft, sick, and slow. Then you build the action plan. We sit down and do that with each and every student we have. And then we build a relationship over time that includes the training to make sure they reach their targets. That's true education. See what I mean? It's transformational in a positive way, physically and mentally. I'll give you a simple action plan right now for both mental and physical training that you can immediately begin executing, okay? Train 3 to 5 days per week, 30 to 60 minutes per day. Assess your current level. Train consistently. And here's what I mean by consistently. Consistently surpassing baseline each time you train. Every day, do a full body, total joint prep warm-up, 5 rounds of strength, skills practice, then flexibility. Share your wins and victories with your friends, family, and coach. Eat whole, real foods and drink water. And you should be leveling up every 8 to 24 weeks. On the mental side, by making it to the end of this video and contemplating what I'm saying, you're already succeeding. So build on that. And start reading daily. You can subscribe to my email list where you can read the email trainings I publish on a daily basis. Think different, train different. If it's not your vibe, don't subscribe. If it is, then join our tribe and we'll see you on the flip side.